Hi, my name is Z, co-founder of Rework and also the main designer behind the Toshi Sling 5 liters, which is what I have with me right here. So this video will be a technical breakdown on this sling, going over some of the technicalities behind the design process. Now right off the bat, you will notice that there are no exterior logos to be found on the exterior. So this is done on purpose in order to once again keep in line with the low-key aesthetic that we are striving for. And also, personally, we do not like logos on the products that we own, and so we chose to omit it. Now, moving on to the cross-section or side view of the sling, you'll notice that it has a overall tapered design because we wanted to enable the bag to fit bulkier items, and so it had to be somewhat boxy in nature, but we did not want to keep the overall boxy aesthetic of the product. And the tapering to the top helps to minimize the cross-sectional area of the bag, helping to make it just a bit sleeker overall. Now for the bottom of the bag, you also notice that the corners are not rounded, and so they do not have any radiuses to them. Now we've done this purposely in order to fully maximize the space at the bottom of the bag, making fitting bulky items such as water bottles easier. If the corners were slightly rounded, you are slightly taking away some of the available space at the bottom, so it's just not as space efficient. So we split up the bag into 4 different sections in order to mostly prioritize for quick and easy access on the go, where items can be well organized apart from each other, but allowing you to have just one zip access to whichever items is in which pocket. Now you'll notice on the front of the bag, there are darts and pleats which add to the 3-dimensional volume of the sling itself. So this helps to give a volume to the front compartment, but also the main compartment, and also adds to the overall more organic shape that the sling has. Now obviously the top darts is to add volume to the top section of the front pocket, and the pleats at the bottom is to add some amount of dimensionality to the bottom area of the front pocket. And this is quite important because a lot of items are more boxy in nature than it is tapered, and there's no capacity on the base of the sling, then having a dimension to the top would not really make that big of a difference. And so we've done it in such a way where there's dedicated space to the front compartment and you're able to easily fit whatever you need inside the front pocket. Now above the front pocket, we have the top quick access pocket, which utilizes the top half vertical space of the sling. So on the inside of the pocket, you'll notice that it is suspended above the bottom half of the bag, and there are also pleats on all 4 corners of this pocket. This helps to give the bag a bit more dimensionality depth-wise, which is essential if you're trying to fit anything with a bit of depth to it. To access this pocket, the zip is on the exterior, which keeps in line with the whole criteria of the bag being easily accessible. So you have one zip access to all your items on the inside of this pocket. Now the zipper track also has a zipper garage on the end of it, and this zipper garage helps to add additional weather resistance to this pocket, where it covers the tiny gap that is often left open even when the zipper slider is closed all the way. Now the main compartment of the sling is quite basic, with perhaps only one key feature to really dive deeper into, which is the suspended mesh sleeve that we have included. So the purpose of this is to hold smaller items above bulky items at the base of the sling. Now we have constructed this sleeve in what we like to call a folded over construction. So what this means is that the base or the bottom of this sleeve is folded over instead of being stitched down. This means that only the edges of the suspended pocket are stitched down and not the bottom. So behind this suspended sleeve, there is the larger mesh sleeves. This means that they are both not sort of constrained by one another, allowing them to expand a bit more efficiently, allowing it to fit items inside more easily. So next, moving on to perhaps the most unique feature about this sling, which is the Stowaway Pocket, which houses the compression straps when not in use. So this Stowaway Pocket is closed via magnets, and we chose magnets because they offer the best in terms of a balance of simplicity and functionality and ease of use. There are other options like zippers, but they do add a bit more weight to the overall product, and they're not as seamless to use when compared to magnets. Now for the compression straps, we are using slotted clips for the attachment and detachment. What this means is that the clip is a plastic hardware with a slit down the middle, and so you can hook this on to the webbing attachment points found on the Stowaway Pocket as well on the back of the sling. So we chose this design because it provided the best balance between simplicity and functionality. It is very low in profile and also quite small in size, making it hardly noticeable when you're wearing the bag. And because of the lack of bulkiness to this hardware, it does not take up that much space inside the bag when space is a premium. There were other options that we considered like G hooks, but again, because of the fact that G hooks are generally bigger in size and bulkier in size, they did not hit the requirements as nicely where we wanted to maximize space efficiency. For the carry system of the bag, we've implemented a detachable carrying strap design. So it is detachable via 25mm gatekeepers, which is attached to webbing attachment points on the back of the sling. The strap itself is 38mm, as we wanted to maximize comfort, as a wider strap would help to spread out the weight of the bag a bit more efficiently on your shoulder. The purpose of the 25mm gatekeeper is to help to minimize the overall size of the attachment point. And so we have to taper the attachment point from a 25mm to the 38mm strap, and we've done so using a Hyperlon detail simply because of the durability that it provides, and it's also quite a nice detail to have. Now, the adjustment of the strap is quite simple overall. We're using a single plastic strap adjuster that can be easily lengthened and tightened depending on how you want it to be on your body. Now, you also notice that this plastic strap adjuster, the edges of it are indented inwards, so it creates a bit of a groove so that your fingers are able to sit nicely on the strap, making it just a bit easier to adjust the strap length on the go. The material of the strap itself is made of a 100% nylon webbing. We chose this specific material because it provided, again, the best balance between durability as well as functionality. One of the more popular straps we see in the market today are sort of more seatbelt-like webbing materials, but one of the cons with those materials is that they're a bit thicker, and so they can get caught on the strap adjuster when adjusting just a bit more frequently, and it's not as easy to adjust. So that is the downside to those seatbelt-like webbings, and which is why we ended up choosing this nylon webbing, where it's a good balance between thickness and practicality when using it on the go. For the quick release mechanism of the carrying strap, we went with a quick release buckle that is offset to one side. So the buckle itself is a pinch-free buckle, and what we mean by this is that the walls, or there are no side walls on this squeeze buckle. So when you pinch it open, you are unable to accidentally pinch your fingers no matter how you do it. Now, the other benefit to this design is that it's also much easier to pinch open and latch close compared to a conventional buckle design. Now, we also considered using magnetic buckles, which is also quite common these days, but we opted not to go with those magnetic buckles because in our own personal experiences, they can potentially come undone when they are accidentally bumped upon. There are magnetic buckles that are quite hard to come undone, such as Fitlock V buckles, but the downside to those is that they are much more heavy overall, and we wanted to prioritize weight, and so we did not go for those buckle designs. So overall, this squeeze buckle is a good medium between the security of a conventional squeeze buckle, but also provides the convenience of a magnetic buckle. As mentioned, the buckle is offset to one side, so this is beneficial for a few reasons. If you are carrying this sling as a travel sling and you have a backpack on your back, this means that the buckle will not be sandwiched between the backpack and your back, making it a bit more comfortable. Another upside to this position of the buckle is that when you're carrying the sling on the front, the buckle is within arm's reach, and you do not have to sling the bag around to unbuckle the strap if it is on the center of the strap. Now, lastly, with the carrying strap, because it is completely detachable, you can just remove it and then keep it in the stowaway pocket, or you can just simply detach it and use the sling as a standalone pouch if you so wish. So moving on to the materials of the sling, on the exterior, we have a 420 denier Mipan region recycled nylon fabric. It has a C0 DWR finish for water repellency, and this also means that it is free from any fluorocarbons inside the water repellent finish, which is actually quite prevalent in a lot of the more conventional C6 DWR finishes in the market today. Another benefit to this fabric is that it is smooth and relatively lightweight yet durable, and the smooth nature means that it is quite resistant to picking up pet hair and lint, making it quite easy to wipe the exterior of the fabric down. For the inside of the sling, we went with a 210 denier PU coated ripstop nylon that is also DWR finished with a C0 DWR treatment. The ripstop means that there are cross hatches to the fabric itself, helping to prevent any tears from getting worse if one were to occur. You also notice that the fabric is of a light grey colour, which helps to create a bit of a highlight effect, making finding your items inside the sling that much easier. Now for zippers, we are using number 8 RC coil zippers for the main compartment as well as the top quick access pocket, which are exposed, and number 5 RC coil zippers for the rest of the pockets. Another thing to note is that the number 8 RC coil zippers are also DWR treated, which means that they are much more resistant to water from ingressing into them. Now we chose to not use AquaGuard zippers in our sling because we wanted to prioritize the smoothness of the zipper function, as AquaGuard zippers are not going to be as smooth as regular coil zippers, especially when we wanted easily one-handed access to some of the pockets that we have. Another downside to AquaGuard zippers is that they are quite prone to potentially cracking over time, especially in climates that are a bit more humid and are a bit more and where the sun is a bit more strong overall. Lastly, for the construction of the bag, all potential load-bearing points are reinforced with Bartex stitching for added strength and durability to make it less susceptible to failure over time. Now lastly, for the stabilizing strap, which is an add-on that you can buy for the Toshi Sling, it's quite basic and we'll go through a few notable design considerations. So again, we're using the slotted clip, which is also found with the compression strap, and so they share the same attachment point and you can use them both at the same time. It also features the same pinch-free buckle, which makes it easily removable and quickly detachable when on the go. And it attaches to the strap via a snap button, and the entire mechanism loops over the main carrying strap, and because it's looped over, you can sort of slide it up and down and fine-tune the position of it on your body when using it. So that is all we have for this technical breakdown. We hope that you found it helpful and useful. If you have any other questions, you can leave them down below in the comment section and we'll try our best to answer them. If you want to find out more about the features of the bag, you can also check out our product walkthrough video, which we'll have linked down below or somewhere in the video. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!